Oh shoot, I forgot to let me set this real quick. All right, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm back. I needed to come on here, show my face, let y'all know I'm okay. I know it's been a few days, but I have been juggling so much in the background. Okay. If you don't know me, my name is Karma Reveals. Okay. I am an astrologer, tarot reader, and spiritualist. I also am a certified relationship coach. So I have a lot to offer. Um, and in this video, I want to talk about Naziah Harris. Now, I know it's a lot of people who are talking about Naziah Harris right now, but my perspective on her comes from the things that I have studied as far as human behavior and my personal experience with people in the church or religious people and foster parents. Okay. There are a lot of things that give me pause about Naziah's grandmother. And I can tell you right now, after listening to her in the preliminary hearing, I feel like she was not forthcoming with a lot of information. I feel like she was emotionally disconnected. And I also feel like there is a link between the grandmother, Naziah, and Naziah's mother. Because the grandmother said that she doesn't have a relationship with the oldest daughter, which is Naziah's mother. They don't have a relationship. So, in my opinion, there's already tension there. So, what happens is there is a potential for whatever lingering tension there might be, whatever lingering tension there might be with the grandmother and Naziah's mother could inadvertently affect Naziah. And I do believe that that happened in this situation. I don't believe that the grandmother gave her full attention to this baby. I don't care what she says. I don't think she gave her full attention to this baby. And the reason why I'm saying that is because some of the questions that she answered, they sound like what a person who's doing their job would answer to. So, in other words, she not only was Naziah's grandmother, biological grandmother, but she was also Naziah's adopted parent, a foster parent to her. Let the grandmother tell it. She says that there's no relationship between the biological mother and Naziah. If I'm not mistaken, it was either her or her daughter Sharon that said Naziah's mother gave her a phone. So obviously, the mother wanted to have contact with her. That's what I would say. If the mother gave her a phone, I don't care if she did, if she was only able to reach the mother by Wi-Fi. I don't care. You're not going to tell me that she didn't want to have some kind of communication with her daughter if she did that, because I wouldn't believe that. Because she didn't have to do that. My question is, why is it that the mother had no connection with the daughter? Is it because of the grandmother? Or because there was something going on with the mother? Now, I don't know if the mother did an interview and maybe I haven't seen it yet or whatever the case. But why was Naziah's mother not in her life? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because the grandmother said that her and the oldest daughter didn't have a relationship. She said they don't deal with each other. So if there's tension between the grandmother and the mother, that could present a problem for the child. And in a situation where the grandmother adopts the child, she essentially has control of the child. That could be a problem. That really could be a problem. I don't know the backstory. So if there is a backstory, y'all can let me know. Also, what I observed is the grandmother seems to be strict and restrictive. That's what I gathered. She said that the baby didn't go to her friend's house to spend the night. She never went over there, according to the grandmother. She never went over to friend's house. She never had friends over. I don't know if this is because the grandmother was a private woman or because she was restrictive, like I said. And my question is, if she says that the baby was not a problem, like she didn't have to be disciplined much, the way she made it sounds that the baby was a good child. Why keep her from friends? Why not allow her to socialize outside of school? Why could she not have friends over even if you didn't want her going to her friend's house? I have questions for this grandmother. What I can tell you is this grandmother would not want me to be the investigator on this case. That's what I can tell you. That's what I can tell you. She wouldn't want me to be the investigator. And yes, I have that background. She wouldn't want me to do that. The reason why is because I would probe and I would keep probing. Because people need to understand that personal bias, which I do believe the grandmother had, personal bias will cause you to do things that make no damn sense. Make no damn sense. I have questions as to why the grandmother waited until the next day to contact the school. Why didn't the aunt? Because the grandmother said she was not home around the time that this baby would have gotten out of school and should have been home. She said that the baby would have gotten out of school between 3 and 3:05. She would have been arriving in the house. That's what she said. That the baby would be walking in the door no later than 3:05. My question is, even if you were not home, your daughter was there. Why is it that nobody contacted the school all the rest of that day? If it was me, I would have been throwing shit everywhere trying to find my damn child. I would have been in the street. Ain't no way I would have been sleeping that night. That's me. Okay? I'm a parent who's emotionally connected to my children, though. And like I said in the beginning, I don't believe that this grandmother had an emotional connection like that to this baby. It could be because there's tension between her and the mother. It could be that there's personal bias with the grandmother. I do get that. Based upon what she answered to. She said that she would take the baby's tablet from her. Okay, the tablet that she said she bought for the baby, she would take it away from her. When asked if the baby was active on social media, like if she participated in social media, the grandmother answered yes to that. But she also said that she would take the tablet from the baby. When asked if she recognized anything suspicious, she said no. She said the only time that she would know that the baby posted something to social media is when her daughter told her. Why the hell is the daughter calling you and telling you that the baby posted something on social media? If you're not restrictive and controlling, why are you doing this? Did she give you a reason to be so controlling with her tablet? Why are you doing this? I really do believe that this lady was restrictive and strict. And if she said that every morning before the babies went to school, they would have to pray, there's no doubt in my mind that this lady was controlling and restrictive. If she's a religious woman or church woman, I'm already questioning her. Already. I know that a lot of these women in the church and these Bible thumpers, these hard Bible thumpers, are really strict and mean people. And I know this from personal experience. That's why I don't deal with the church. There's something about this grandmother that is off to me. She doesn't seem to know a whole lot about this baby that she should know. A lot of the questions that she answered to were like a stranger who had to know the schedule of an adopted child. That's what it sounded like to me. But like I said, I still have questions. Another thing, she said that they will refer to the baby, the family will refer to the baby as Tuda. I think that's the name, Tuda. What I know about that is you're associating this baby with a name that's not hers. If this baby had a split personality, I'm not sure if she did or not. And a lot of times, parents don't even know this about their kids. When you start associating them with a different name outside of their given name, they tend to answer to, respond to, and associate with that name and not their biological, not their given name. So when someone starts calling them by their given name, they give a different reaction. They may give a different response. Some kids may take that as, oh, you see them differently than everybody else. For some kids, that's what they need. They need for somebody to see them differently than how they're seen by the family. Ask me how I know. I don't like when parents and people, family members, refer to the children as all these nicknames, because then they get known by this name, so they associate with this name. This name holds value for some reason, but that value is not always a value that's best for the interest of the child. So if, for instance, a stranger comes along and this stranger is referring to this baby by their name, that's different for the baby. That could be good or bad. If you have a bad relationship with the family don't like you, you feel like you're not secure with them, the name that they associate you with has bad connotations behind it. Okay? It's something that doesn't make her comfortable, but it's something that she recognizes, something she knows. So when she's called by her name, that's something different. Especially if she's called by her name and then there's good stuff that comes behind it. Say, for instance, the friends call her by her actual name and they have good times together. The friends do things that make her feel comfortable. Okay? This baby has now associated different behaviors to these different names. And that's what I know. What I also can tell you is the grandmother was asked if she was close to the baby. She said that the baby always would come to her and talk to her about anything. She said she always told the baby that anytime she had a problem or anytime she needed help or, needed to talk about something, she can come and talk to her. I'm sure maybe you did say that. It's such a cliche thing for parents to say, to put it out there, present it out there like that's what you're doing. That's not always the case, though. Parents and adults know to say shit like this because it's something acceptable by society, okay? It's something that they know people will want to hear about you as a parent. Are you attentive? Because that's what that boils down to. Are you attentive to this baby? Now, you said she would come to you and talk to you anytime she had a problem. If that was so, why wouldn't this baby tell you anything about this man that your daughter Shannon knew was texting this man? This baby never came to you and told you anything, but y'all were close. Why is that? Why didn't she come to you and talk to you? I don't think y'all were that damn close. That's what I don't think. Okay. She said, I noticed that the grandmother was hesitant when asked about when her daughter moved into her house. I'm trying to figure out why you so hesitant with answering this question. You didn't want to answer this question. Why is that? Would it bring up a problem being that you have adopted kids in the house? Is it a problem for CPS to find out that you got this grown woman living in the house with all these kids? I don't know. I'm asking questions, though. I want to know why she's hesitant with answering this question. I also have a question about this lady Shannon. Why is it that you knew this baby was texting this man who is the biological father of your kids in an inappropriate manner, and you did nothing? Because you didn't do anything. That's not what I gathered from what you told the lawyers. You knew they were texting and you did nothing. That was inappropriate what the investigators uncovered during their investigation. He's sending messages to this baby saying that he wants some PUSSY. That's what he said. Even though he lied and told the investigators that he was talking to Shannon. Shannon confirmed that he wasn't talking to her. That message wasn't to her. So he was saying this to this baby. Nonetheless, Shannon knew. The other question I had, why didn't she do anything when she realized that this baby was missing? All you doing is calling people on the phone and sending messages. Did y'all know that this baby was going to the shop with this man? Did y'all have any idea that this baby was going to the shop with this man? Besides the time that the baby went there with Shannon's daughter, Janiyah. Because this particular day, January 9th, when the baby went missing, she was at the shop with him by herself. Also, on this day, Shannon said she texted this man and was asking him. I don't remember her saying she asked him if the baby was missing. I remember her saying that she texted him, still no tutor. And this man said, oh, wow. And that was it. Now, if Shannon knew that this baby had been to the shop with this man before, why the hell she wasn't in the car going around checking to see? Why the grandmother didn't do it? Why did nobody go to the shop instead of just texting this man? You took him at his word? I don't understand this. Shannon also said that the baby asked her to ask this man if he wanted her at the shop to do anything. So you okay with texting this man and asking this man something like that for your niece? But you can't drive to that same damn shop to see if that baby ever came over there. You can't drive around the locations where you knew she could be. Why is it that you were so lackadaisical, in my opinion, with trying to find this baby? Because I'm still trying to figure out why nobody tried to contact the school before the time that this baby was reported missing. You waited until the next day. Matter of fact, Shannon said she spoke with her mom, and her mom was the one who decided to do something the next day. Did you contact any of the other family members? I'm trying to figure out what all did you do the day of? Because I feel like y'all were lackadaisical with this shit. And it's off to me as her family. It's very off to me. Why is, and like I think I asked it before, why is it that the daughter is calling the mother to tell her what Zanaya, oh God, what Naziah is doing? It's almost like she's telling on the baby. I really do feel like this grandmother was restrictive, like I said, and controlling in her household. She ran it a certain way. And since Shannon was her daughter, and I think Shannon is the youngest of the twins, I wholeheartedly believe that she was under her mother's control, especially since she was living in her house with these kids. I can also tell you that the grandmother did not care for Mr. Butts. She didn't like him. She has a very dismissive and unassociated energy towards him, like she don't like him. When she says that Mr. Butts rarely came into her house, that means that Mr. Butts more than likely was in her house before. The grandmother also said she didn't remember Mr. Butts interacting with Naziah. But Naziah would go outside when Mr. Butts was there, because she said that Naziah would go outside when Mr. Butts was there if Shannon was outside. So how is it that she didn't interact with him, but he would go outside when Shannon was outside? That's kind of contradictory to me. That doesn't make any sense. What I also find strange is that the next morning on January 10th, when she went to drop the babies off at the school, she said she spoke to the dean. And she told the dean that she was on her way to the police station to report the baby missing. She said that's when they told her that they would call the police, and DPS came out to the school to speak with them and her. How interesting is this? So you spoke with the police at school. You didn't go to the police office, the police station, to report her missing. You did this with the school. Something's wrong here. When asked if she was at the house when the baby was supposed to be there, she said she was home for a little while, but left out to run some errands. That didn't answer the question. That did not answer the question. And I would have corrected her. My question was, that's what I would have said. The question was, were you there when she was supposed to be home, because you telling them that you were home and you went out to run errands, that could have been any time during the day. I'm going to take that as there's a potential that you were not there during this time frame when the baby was supposed to be home. But what we do know is that you said you left to go pick up the other kids from after school. You also said you took Naziah out of the after school program because you said she was getting into it with another schoolmate. But you left the other ones in after school. So if you took her out, you said she would have known to be home. Why wouldn't somebody have been home when that baby got there? Did she have a key to get in the house? I guess she wouldn't have needed one if your daughter was there. And my question is, if your daughter was there, did she do anything? Did she call anybody when she realized the bus came and the baby wasn't in the house? The baby never got off the bus and never walked through the door? Something's wrong here. I don't understand this. I'm not taking this as this family was as attentive to this baby as they should have been, especially this grandmother. What I do know is family, just like strangers, will adopt children for the benefit. Not because they necessarily care about the child, they will adopt the child for the benefit. Or because of the presentation, it looks better on the family if you get the baby. Not that you have to be treating the baby the way you should. I still have questions for this grandmother and her daughter Shannon, because she was still dealing with this man after she saw the text messages on her phone. She still was dealing with her. She didn't call the police. She didn't tell the police what she found. She didn't bring it to anybody's attention. Why did she not do this? Because this man was the father of her children? This is awkward to me. You didn't know this man was a sex offender. Apparently, you didn't know. And if you did know, how the hell did you have five kids with this child, with this man, and allow this man to be with your kids alone? You didn't know he was a sex offender? I mean, I just have so many questions. These type of men target single women. And if you look at all the women who took the stand, they all look the same. These women all seem like they could be manipulated. All of them, to me. All of them. They were all. Anytime you know a man is doing something, you stick with him, why in the hell would he change his behavior? This woman, Shannon, had 5 babies with his children, and she knew he was cheating. She knew he was messing with other women. She said they had an on and off relationship, but in between time, the babies keep coming. So you bringing lies into this world with tumultuous shit going on between the parents. And this makes sense to you. Why? Why? Shannon said that this man had been in this baby's life since this baby was 2. Do we really know how long this man had been grooming this baby? The reason why this is like deja vu is because this is so familiar. It's just like the case of Stephen Stearns and Maddie. It's so similar. It's like what was going on with the adults around these children that this type of stuff was able to happen. Because I'm going to be stuck on how this woman was with a sex offender all this time and kept having children by him. And he was a dog and she knew it. I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. Another thing I want to say is the co-worker who was working with Mr. Butts. Apparently he was on a please go somewhere because you're making noise. Thank you. The co-worker was on a tether. I guess that's a bracelet, an ankle bracelet or something, where they have to monitor his going and coming to and things like that because he was on parole. And anytime you on parole, you got to watch what the hell you do. You got to watch who around you and everything because they can easily get you caught up in some stuff. Easily. And you do not want that type of stuff, especially when you get ready to come off parole. Now, when this man was talking, when he was on the stand, I could sense the tension in him. He had tension in him. And the reason why is because he found out during the course of the investigation that Mr. Butts lied on him, which could have easily got him caught up. Mr. Butts introduced this baby to this man as his niece. But Mr. Butts told his sister that this baby was the co-worker's niece. So he might be a pathological liar, but he's definitely a liar. Because then what that does is now the police got to probe more into the co-worker to find out exactly how much he knows and to make sure they were not in this together. To make sure that the co-worker's information is panning out to where he said he was when he said he was. And with who? Because the co-worker said the night the baby went missing, he left early. He wasn't there in the shop when those two left. He was already gone. The police now have to follow up on that to make sure he wasn't there. So it can make somebody on parole even more tense, that now they got to deal even more with the police. I would be mad as hell too. Don't y'all think it's interesting that when asked if he saw Mr. Butts in the court, he said no. Y'all didn't catch on to that? He said no multiple times. Even when he stood up and looked around, he said no multiple times, and Mr. Butts was sitting right there. I don't know about y'all, but that spoke volumes to me. What I gathered from that is he don't see no ghost. He don't see somebody that don't exist. That's how I took that. Because the person he knew, he thought he could trust, or he thought they were better than that. And that's how I took it. Mr. Butts didn't even look his way in the courtroom. Like he kept holding his face down. I was trying to figure out what the hell he had on the mask. Everybody else don't got a mask on. He the only one with a mask on. It's making me think that nobody see his face. Interesting to me. You know, to me, you already a coward, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But to get this man hemmed up in your bullshit is fucked up. Especially since there was a jailhouse call from Mr. Butts to this man, asking this man to go in one of the baby mama's cars to get a phone. I guarantee you that phone got critical information in it. I guarantee you. Because he didn't ask the baby mama whose truck it was to do this. He asked the co-worker to do this. So he was strategic in everything he done. He was strategic. Also, one of the baby mamas was the baby mama's card that he used when he went to do whatever he did with this baby. You want to know how I know? Because he told the baby mama that he needed the car to take his son somewhere. That's what he said. And the first question I had when she said that was, how the hell is he a mechanic? He don't got no damn car. That's weird. You don't have no car to drive? That was my question before I found out he actually had a vehicle. He was driving a Cadillac Escalade, a white Cadillac Escalade. Why the hell you didn't use your own damn car? Why did you use the baby mama's car? You know why? Because you didn't want the evidence in your own car. Now you done implicated the baby mama if she don't know nothing about it. And that's not the only one that you implicated. It was the one with the truck, the Suburban, that you left the phone in her car. You messed up when you left the baby's glasses in the baby mama's car that you used. And you used her car twice. And in my opinion, the first time you used her car, it was to do whatever you was going to do with this baby. You did whatever you was going to do with her. And my thing is, he didn't, when he just, whatever he did with the baby, I think it was a two-step process. Because both times he had that baby mama's car. He used her car twice. And both times he said the same thing. I need to take my son somewhere. So the first time, this was when he went to the hotel with the baby. The same day, that January 9th. The second time was a day or two later. And this is according to the baby mama, whose car she used. That time, I believe it was to transport the baby, wherever he put her. So this was a two-step process here. And that's what I believe. And he was alone when he did this. And like I said, the reason he used her car was so no evidence would be in his shit. Remember, he's a convicted sex offender. The first time this man went to prison, he went to prison for 10 years behind the sex offense. What I know about sex offenders is a lot of them commit their crimes. They get caught because the victim tells somebody close to the victim. If they leave the victim alive, gets them in trouble and they go to jail behind it. The second time they commit, because they will commit again. You cannot cure sex offenders. I don't give a damn what you say. You cannot cure them. There's no cure for that. That is a sexual attraction to minors. In case y'all don't know, these pedophiles have a sexual attraction to children. That does not stop when they come out of prison. Why do you think they target single parents with children? It's about getting to the children. It's not about the parents. So single parents, y'all need to really start doing background checks on who you're dealing with. You think a sex offender gonna come out and tell you they're a sex offender? No, they're not going to come out and tell you that. Their goal is to get to the children. This man lied to every woman he was with. And somehow he was able to father 13 children. A convicted sex offender fathered 13 children with different women. And my question is, did you know he was a sex offender? Because in 2025, I'm starting to feel like this is no longer acceptable for women to know, women to not know who they're dealing with. And there's so much information out here. If they're registered the way they're supposed to be registered, especially if they went to prison, especially if they're on parole, If they're in the system, you will know whether or not. Because like I said, they're not going to be forthcoming and tell you this. So it's a lot of questionable shit around this family, this Harris family, and the way they handled this. Why Shannon Harris continued to deal with the baby father after this. I understand he's the father. He would never, ever be around my children by himself. Ever. This is not an excuse anymore. Like, it's really not an excuse no more. And I want to know why the hell all these women didn't know that this man was a sex offender. And they have kids by him. So I already asked the question of whether or not the aunt knew that this baby was going to the shop with butts. And if she did know, was she checking up on the children? Because the way he started the grooming process, he was allowing the baby to go there with one of his daughters. So it wouldn't look suspicious. That's why. Because the baby was there with the daughter. And I can guarantee you, he was not speaking to this baby the way he was speaking to his daughter. Also, how do we know that there was nothing funny going on between him and his daughter? How do we know that? I just got so many damn questions. Like, this shit is not making sense. It's not making sense. And I'm going to, until these questions are answered, I'm going to continue to feel like this lady, Shannon Harris, and her mother was not as attentive to this baby as they're leading on. That's what I can tell you. And that grandmother was very controlling. And I bet you she's very controlling. And still to this day. The co-worker said that Butts was at work on the 9th. He was with this baby until they left the shop that night. Nobody asked, thank you, Nora. And it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable at this point. It's really unacceptable. We're in 2025. And you're talking to I am a foster child. So I know this shit goes on. And even outside of the foster children, the families know about pedophiles in the family. They do nothing about it. They did nothing about it. And this is when I was coming up. Why are we in 2025 and this shit still happening? You got parents who are turning a blind eye to this shit. Still. You don't think it's something wrong with this baby being with this grown man all hours of the night? So you think she okay simply because he's the uncle, but not really. Because he got children with this baby's aunt. So what? Were they married? He's nobody's uncle. He's playing the role. And that's how he was able to get away with the grooming. Playing the role. Why was he really attentive to this baby like this? Why is it that none of the other kids came outside of this baby and maybe the oldest, Janiyah? And if Janiyah wasn't there, why was this baby there by herself with this grown man and another grown man? Because like I said, he had a co-worker all hours of the night. You not calling to find out why this baby is still there after 6 o'clock. This baby's still there. And you not calling to find out why? Oh, because he's playing the role of uncle. Oh, hell no. I know you lying. I know you lying. I know you lying. I know you lying. So, like I said, the women that he chose, he was able to manipulate. I know I can't be the only one that saw that shit. They all seem the same. All of these women. They knew he was a liar. They knew he was a manipulator. They knew it. And he was cheating on all of them. They knew it, and they were still dealing with him. This don't sound desperate? Is it that damn bad? Ain't no fucking way. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm ever giving a convicted sex offender a chance with me. There's no way. Not, and I have children. You have to be out of your mind. But like I said, a lot of these women don't understand that convicted sex offenders are sex offenders. They are sex offenders for life. When they are pedophiles and they are attracted to children, that does not go away. And what we can say is this man was messing around with all these women that had children, except for one. The fiance. The fiance was the only one who didn't have children by this man. But even with her, this was an on and off situation with this man. You a fiance to somebody, and y'all don't even live together, and y'all on and off. What kind of damn engagement is this? That's what we're doing now? Your fiance, if this is the one he was dealing with at the time, because he was messing with so many, he might be messing with all of them at the same damn time. None of them are asking questions. None of them are calling the shot. Shannon, of all of them, should have been the one. Simply because he didn't try to help in finding the baby. Because all she said was that he texted her, oh wow. What the is that? It's weird. This baby had been coming to their shop to help. The co-worker said that the baby would come to the shop and would help clean and stuff like that, keeping the shop tidy and stuff. So obviously you were appreciative of her doing this. It would seem like y'all were close. You mean to tell me you wouldn't be more invested in finding this baby? That would raise red flags for me all over the damn place. So what the hell is wrong with these women? Because I am a mother. The difference is I got X-ray vision on my children at all times. With anything. I go through all their stuff. Everything. Because parents know that children will not tell them everything. Especially if the children feel like there's some kind of barrier. There's some kind of barrier between them and the parent. They're not going to always be forthcoming with information. Not with that parent. Not with that family member. And what I can tell you is this baby was not that close to these family members. No. Because she wasn't coming to them and telling them the types of things that was going on between her and this man. Yet this baby was using Shannon's phone to contact this man. Shannon said that she would figure out that the baby was using her phone to call him because she would try to get in contact with him. And when he finally answered the phone, he would say, "Why you keep calling me?" And Shannon said, "I didn't call you." What? Why is this baby, this 13-year-old baby, calling this man like this? Or she might not have even been 13 at the time. But why is this baby calling him like this and talking to this man like this? And she don't even talk to y'all, and y'all are the females. Y'all are the family members. And she talking to the stranger more than she talking to y'all? And you gonna tell me y'all were close? Ain't no damn way. I absolutely believe it, Nora. You'll be surprised at how many cases are out here like this. And so many babies are afraid to talk. So many of them don't even know that what's happening to them is wrong. Because it's just like I said, if they're closer to this person, because this person treats them differently, they have a different association with this person. This person acknowledges them as a person by calling them their name. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't think that makes a difference, I am telling y'all, it does. You need to identify this baby by her name. Call her by her name. Associate her to her name. And stop with all these nicknames. Y'all don't understand how this has an effect on children. But I do. I still got questions for this damn family. And I'm telling you, I could not be the investigator on this case because they wouldn't like me at all. Because I would keep probing and asking questions because I'm not sure there wasn't some neglect going on here. I'm not sure. I really want to talk to the biological mother or the biological mothers. If she has people or family members that can attest to the things that they try to do, or if there are any family members outside of the Harrises, and which I think there are, family members outside of the Harrises that wanted to be more invested in this child's life. Because I believe I came across, matter of fact, I'm going to let y'all listen to this, because I came across a video where there was a family member who said that she had been trying, they had been trying to get custody of this baby. Okay? This is Naziah Harris's aunt. And she's reacting to the preliminary hearing. So I don't know if y'all saw this yet. But I'm going to play this for y'all. Okay?
Yeah, I was shocked about a lot of things that came out in court. Now I understand, like when we were working with and talking to the Detroit Public School Police, DPD people, you know, like we was in there like talking to them and stuff. Now I see why they told us, stand down. We got everything we need. We don't need you doing no searches. You can pass out some flyers, but we got everything we need.
Absolutely.
Because we gave them a lot of information, but we were like hounding them. And they was like, oh, just look, you gave us the information. We following it. Just stand down. Don't go out here in these houses looking. Don't go out here accusing people and knocking on doors and all that stuff. Just stand down. We got everything we need. We just
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When it comes to mine, you ain't gonna tell me what the hell to do. I'm a grown ass woman. You ain't about to tell me what the hell to do. I don't give a damn what you did. I'm just gonna go along with what you tell me to do. Hell no. That's my family member. And it's a lot of unanswered questions out here. And if I ain't get enough information from you, I'm gonna go get it. You don't tell me what the hell to do. Not me.
need some time to put it together.
They
it takes time to get subpoenas for text messages. It takes time to get subpoenas from the phone companies. It takes time to run DNA samples and stuff like that. It takes time.
Absolutely.
We knew they told us this before the 14th.
Sure did.
We got the information when it was transferred. We talked to Detroit Public School Police the Friday after Desire went missing because we didn't find out until Thursday night. She went missing on the Tuesday. We found out on Facebook post on a Thursday night. We called.
Okay, why was this? Because this is her aunt. This is another family member. Why is it that these family members didn't find out until the Friday after she went missing? Why did this take so long? I'm telling y'all, it's some missing pieces to this puzzle. There's something not right about this adopted family. These Harrises. Something ain't right. And there's some tension there.
Friday morning.
Sure did.
And told them everything that we knew and what could have possibly happened. Because originally we thought she had ran away. But just to see all of it unfold was a little bit of a relief because I've been preaching this for a long time and no one would listen. No one believed me. Or they would say, oh, the kids are not denying it. We're not seeing it. The family over there was saying, oh, she lying. She not telling the truth.
Y'all hearing this, right? Are y'all hearing this? And I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely believe her. I absolutely believe her. And just like I said, this type of shit happened to me. This shit was happening back in the 80s and the 90s. I absolutely believe her. How family members will lie and protect pedophiles. Plenty of people in the family done told you, done brought it to your attention. This person touched me. This person is molesting me. This person is doing this and that. And how many of them did any damn thing? They did nothing. What do you think this does to a child? Is this going to make me more secure with this family, knowing that they are not listening to me and not been hurt by somebody they know? Is this going to make me want to confide in them? Absolutely not. And it's no wonder he was able to slide his ass in there and groom her. Because these family members were not attentive to her the way they said. And I absolutely believe that.
I don't know why she would make that up about him. I don't know what she got against him and my mama, but she lying. Just my truth to come out.
And how in the world can this lady Shannon open her mouth to say anything like that when she saw the text messages between this baby and this grown man that is the father of her 5 kids that she knew was a convicted sex offender? Why would you not believe that? Why would that not be a possibility? Are you losing your mind? You that desperate to keep a damn man? You're jeopardizing your own kids by doing this. There are pedophiles that prey on their own kids. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Because they were lying from the beginning. If I was pretty much told that a lot of the things that we told them that first couple weeks is what they would have never looked. Annette would have kept on saying she ran away. She would have never said that she was missing. As a matter of fact, Detective Gardner told me when the grandmother said she missing. I said, no, she lying. She ain't missing. That girl won't be gone for no 3 weeks and ain't contact nobody for no money, not on the social media. But just to see it all put together. And that judge, she saw through all the BS.
Oh, yes, she did.
She saw all the lies and the neglect that we've been trying to tell them was going on. She saw all of it. It's just unfortunate it took for Naziah to be the reason why all this shit came out. But we've been telling people for years.
I want y'all to think about what this aunt is saying and think about CPS and what a lot of people are out here saying about the foster care children and how a lot of them report abuse to the foster parents and to the family members, and nothing happens to them. Nothing does. They do nothing. How many cases are out here like that? And I don't give a damn that these were family members. You see what the hell happened. Family members lie, just like strangers do. The adopted mother, the grandmother, had a benefit to keeping that baby. They lie. And I'm telling you right now, this happens in all families, including black families. A lot of it happens in black families. Because I'm sick of this narrative out here where black families are like, oh, we take care of. No, the hell, all of you don't. That's a lie. And if this baby was coming to you, or any of them kids was coming to you and telling you that something inappropriate was happening with this man, you should have followed up on it. Especially if he was a convicted sex offender. Ain't no damn way. And if you are connected to this baby and you really care about her, you would have followed up on it. More so than you did. That don't make no damn sense.
This ain't nothing that just happened in February. This been happening for years. And we've been going through it, arguing back and forth with Shannon, arguing back and forth with the different police people we came in contact with, calling CPS, trying to get the kids. So it's a little bit.
And I want to know why the hell CPS didn't do more. You see what I've been saying about CPS? Are y'all really doing y'all damn jobs out here? Or is it circumstantial? Does it depend on the results, the outcome, the public scrutiny? Does it depend on that shit? We're not paying y'all to do y'all job sometime. These allegations got to be followed up on. Or y'all going to do like y'all did with my damn situation and my mother's situation and just move us. You just move the child to another damn foster home. So this shit can continue? What happens to the damn foster parent? Where allegations were made, y'all knew allegations were made, y'all didn't follow up on it. The foster parents were lying about it, saying the shit wasn't happening, and this shit happens. Where the baby goes missing. It's being sexually abused by a damn pedophile that happens to be the father of the grandmother's daughter. Like, woo, my blood.
Bit of release. I can say that a little bit of the weight is off of my shoulders, but we still got a long way to go because I want to know where her body is, and I believe they need to go ask Shannon. Absolutely. Because she know everything that he do. If out of all the women that he been with, she the one who killed him the most.
And I absolutely believe that. Because out of all the women, she got the most kids by this man. So she's been dealing with him for a long time. Remember? She knew he was a sex offender and decided to give him a chance. You got kids. And this is smart? Did the grandmother know he was a sex offender? Because she damn sure disassociated herself. She unassociated herself. She distances herself from him. I want to know what all this family member knew, because I am telling you, it's more shit going on. Like, it's more shit going on. I want y'all to listen to her. I want you to listen to this grandmother. And I want y'all to tell me whether or not y'all feel like this grandmother had an emotional connection to this baby. Because I'm not sensing it. Because none of the stuff she was saying to me was hitting home. It was hitting hard. None of it. None of it. And I'm going to let you listen to her. She don't sound like it to me. Not at all. Which one is this? Is it this one? I think it's this one.
Now, did Desire participate in any extracurricular activities? Was she on band or anything?
She liked it, gym, robotics, art. I mean, she liked a lot of things that she was, involved in,
And would any of these things cause her to have stayed after school?
The only time she stayed after school is when she wanted to be enrolled in the after school program.
Just one. I just want to step back a moment. We asked you about her social media. You said there were some things that you weren't aware of on social media, correct? Did you ever check her direct messages?
Like I said, I did, but when I did, there was nothing on there.
There was nothing.
I believe that's a lie. I don't believe that she was checking messages like that. I really don't believe she was checking messages like that, because how in the world do you not know who she's friends with, what she's saying, and you would take her tablet? Because as a parent, I'm checking all my children's stuff. Because like I said, children won't tell you everything. They won't. And so sometimes you got to go probe to make sure that they're not talking to someone where something seems off or inappropriate, because you have pedophiles out here who are making profiles as if they're children. So your baby could be out here talking to somebody she thinks is her age. And the whole time, it's a grown man. And you not going through her stuff? You're supposed to know better than the baby. That's why you're accountable and you're responsible for your children until they're adults. This is why. They're not mature enough. They're not wise enough to know what's going on. You're supposed to step in and handle that.
No.
Okay. Did you monitor any of her conversations?
Yeah, I would, go check,
Okay.
but a lot of
Y'all believe that? Does she sound believable? Like she was checking the messages? How come she didn't know about the messages that were sent to this man? If that's what she was doing. Was the tablet the only device she was checking? If Shannon knew about the messages that this baby sent to this man, did Shannon tell the grandmother? I mean, she calling the grandmother and telling on this baby when she makes a post on social media. Did Shannon tell the grandmother this? That the baby was sending inappropriate messages. There were inappropriate messages between the baby and this man. Shit.
Like I said, a lot of times, I took Nazia's tablet, from her at one point, so there was really nothing that I knew of that she was on unless she got somebody's cell phone or something,
So you did mention that she had a tablet. How many devices did she have that allowed her to connect to social media?
She only had that one tablet that I had bought her. And like I
Okay, hold on. Because the question was, how many devices did she have at her disposal to get on social media? So right there, the grandmother is either not being truthful or she didn't know that the baby was using her daughter's phone. And my question is, she didn't know that, why? Why didn't you know that? You know everything else, supposedly, that goes on with your house. So either you lied on the stand or your daughter didn't tell you that this baby was using her phone to contact this man. But she telling you everything else. So it wasn't just the tablet she was using to contact people on. What about the phone that her mother gave to her? Her biological mother. What about that phone? Even if she only could use Wi-Fi. You think this baby wasn't going on social media? You think she wasn't on apps? If she can connect to the internet, why she not? This a preteen, teenager. They getting on social media. As long as they can connect to that Wi-Fi. No, she lying.
I said I took that tablet and put that tablet up.
And I'm telling you, you will definitely see deposits. You will definitely get checks.
I was skeptical in the beginning.
So on January 9th, you took her to school, correct?
Correct.
And you said it was her and two of your other children that went to school?
My two other children and my daughter's children. I dropped them all off.
The grandmother is saying her two other children. Does anybody know if these are biological children of one of the daughters, or if these are foster kids? Because I don't know if these two children that she's claiming are hers are foster children. They might be. Because she said these two children plus her daughter's children. So how many kids were in this house altogether?
And you said that you noticed that she did not come home at her normal time.
Correct.
All right. You did not call the police then, correct?
No. Driving around looking for her. My daughter reached out to some of her classmates.
So if the grandmother said she was driving around looking for the baby, did anybody go by this man's shop to look for her? That's not something that these people, that she or the mother of his kids said that they did. Did anybody, you said you drove around looking for this baby, so nobody drove to the shop? Nobody drove to the shop. Is it me or does it seem like they completely avoided Mr. Butts? This is weird. It's weird. I really don't feel like this grandmother is telling the truth about a lot of shit. I know she's saying a lot of stuff that presents that she did all that she could do. No, you didn't. And neither did your daughter.
I did nothing. And that morning, I got up. And like I said, I went.
Notice she didn't say anything about calling the school. But remember, she had babies that were in aftercare that day. She said that Naziah was supposed to be home between 3 and 3:05. She never came in the door. She also said that she left the home for a little bit to go run errands. She didn't answer the question of whether or not she was there between 3 and 3:05. She said when she got home, the baby still wasn't home. That's what she said. Oh my God, y'all. This lady did not do all she should have done as it pertains to this baby being missing. And that's what I'm telling you. Because as a mother, I would have been frantic trying to get in touch with everybody. Even calling the school. I don't care if it was after hours or not. And this is also something Shannon should have did. Been calling the school and blowing up the phone and letting somebody know this baby didn't make it home. Did she get on the bus? Did she get off the bus? Nothing. Don't the buses have cameras on it? Mm-mm.
Straight to the school. And from there, I was on my way to police station to make the report. And they called the police from there. DPS police came to the school.
So the first report you made to the police was the next morning.
Yes.
Do you know approximately what time?
School starts at 7:30. So I got.
Ho. Why is that the first time you call the police? I don't give a damn if they say, well, you know how the police will be like, oh, it's got to be 24 to 48 hours or something before they can declare a missing person. I don't know if they still doing that. I don't give a damn if that's what they say. I am putting it on record that I am calling to notify you that this baby is missing. She should have definitely jumped on that because she is a foster mother. So CPS should have known. Did CPS know? And if they did know, I bet you they didn't know that day. Because you didn't even bother to call the police that day. The day she went missing. And you gonna tell me that this woman had a connection to this baby? I'll call her a liar to her face. I'll be damned. No, she didn't.
Got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8.
So you didn't go to the precinct, you went to the school, and the school called the police.
Yes, they called the police because I was getting ready to leave, and the dean said, "No, stay here." She said, "And we'll call the police."
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you are familiar with Mr. Butts, correct?
I know Mr. Butts.
Okay. And he dated your daughter, Shannon, correct?
Correct.
They did have 5 children, correct?
Correct.
And did all the children stay with you and Shannon?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some hesitation around these questions as it pertains to Shannon and these kids being in this woman's house. Now, I don't know how much y'all know about CPS, but I do know there are policies, there are guidelines when it comes to you being a foster parent. And I can't help but think that that's the reason why this lady is having hesitation with answering these questions about her daughter being in the house with all these kids.
Now, I don't want to give too much detail on the kids. What were the mix of boys and girls?
Can you repeat that?
What were the mix of the kids, boys and girls?
Well, I have a boy and girl, and Shannon has her 3 boys and her 2 girls.
So she had 3 boys and the 2 girls. Okay. And at any time, now I think you did indicate that.
What's going on, guys?
This isn't easy to say.
Your mother and I think you're hooked on phonics.
It's preposterous.
Mr. Butts would come over and I think you said he would rarely come in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But he would come in on occasion, correct?
Not really on occasions, because most of the time when he came in, he would pull up in my driveway and my daughter would go out to the truck, and a lot of times the kids will go out to the truck. So it was very rare if he ever came in my house.
I can tell you right now, that's a lie. Based on how she answered this question, I can tell you right now she's lying. She's not being forthcoming. She's hesitating around this question. And I really want to know whether or not this woman knew that this man was a convicted sex offender and she knowingly had him around these children. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on here.
And you indicated that you were close, you were close with Neziah?
Yes.
Can you think of any reason that Neziah would not share information with you?
No.
That's a lie. That was a lie as well. I can tell by how she's answering the question. And that deep breath, it's like a relief. It's like a release before she get ready to lie. That's what she did.
I would come to me and talk to me all the time. If something was bothering her, or if she had a bad day in school, she'll come to me and we'll sit and talk about it. I always kept the door open for communication with Neziah and with really all of my children. So
keeping the door to communication open is not the same as a baby communicating with you. It's not the same. I leave the door open for people to communicate with me, for my children to communicate with me. That don't mean they always coming in here and telling me everything. Sometimes I gotta go in and ask questions. And don't you think I don't? I find out a lot of shit going on with my kids. Do you know I done had to check a female at their school twice for doing shit that she ain't got no damn business? Suspect shit to me. And she's a counselor. You really have to probe your children. They're not going to always come to you and let you know things. You have to get in their head. These are your babies. You're supposed to know them better than anybody. You're supposed to be able to know if they're lying, if they're telling the truth, if they're scared. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is, no, absolutely not. This woman is lying. And this baby was not forthcoming with her. This baby was not communicating with her about everything. She did not feel secure talking about her about everything. How do I know? Because the inappropriate conversations this man was having with her. She didn't come and talk to nobody about that. The types of stuff he was saying to her, she didn't come and get validation or approval or get some kind of somebody's adult opinion about what was going on between her and this man in that household. She did not talk to any of them about that. She kept that from them. And 9 times out of 10, he told her not to tell anybody anything because he was grooming her. That's exactly what they do. It was a whole secret until this baby turns up pregnant. It was a whole secret. No.
she always felt free, to come to me and sit down and talk to me about whatever.
So if something was frustrating Neziah, she would come with you?
She would, that I know of, yes.
All right, if something was scaring.
That's a lie. That I know of, that's a lie.
Neziah, she would come to you.
If something was bothering her or she was frustrated about something, she'll come to me and say, hey, Nana, can I talk to you?
If there was any medical condition, she would come to you regarding that?
I believe she would, yes.
You believe she would? She was that close to you that she would come and talk to you about anything, and she felt free to come and talk to you about anything. Did she tell you she was pregnant? How close was she to you if you didn't know this? Or did you know this? This grandmother is a liar. That is what I'm telling you. She's a liar. And I absolutely believe that her daughter Shannon is a liar as well. She's certainly making it seem like she had no knowledge of a lot of shit. Yet she was close to this baby. My ass.
You take her to the hospital, take her to the doctor.
Yes.
Okay. Just a moment.
So you took her to the doctor like you supposed to. She had regular checkups like she's supposed to. And she had no problem with coming to you and letting you know things, especially if she had a medical problem. And my question again is, did you or did you not know this baby was pregnant? Because apparently, or it seems like you had no knowledge of this. Because if this baby missed her period, she certainly told somebody. There's somebody who knows, but it wasn't you. And it wasn't Shannon, or was it? I still got questions, y'all. Hell no.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Can you redirect?
Ms. Harris, I just have a couple more questions for you. When Mr. Riggins was asking you questions, you said that Mr. Butts would come and sit in his car, right, outside your house?
Yes.
And he said that the kids would go and out to the car.
Yes.
Which kids would go out to the car?
His kids.
A performance that truly matters. Get tickets now at Shenyun.
Would Neziah ever?
I want y'all to keep in mind that this lady is a foster parent. There's a reason why she's very careful with the answers that she's given to these lawyers in this courtroom. She has to be careful what the hell she says. She has to distance herself and her foster children as much as possible away from this man because he's a convicted sex offender. Keep this in mind. That gives her a reason to not be forthcoming with all the information. That gives her a reason to lie. That is what I'm saying.
Go with his kids out to the car?
If Shannon was out there, she would.
You heard that? She said if Shannon was outside, Neziah would go out there. But earlier she said Neziah didn't have interaction with Mr. Butts. Now, which one is it, lady? Because you done lied multiple times. You done made contradictory statements, gave contradictory responses more than once. Why is that, if you're telling the truth? Because it can't be both. Either she interacted with him or she didn't. And if she went outside when he was there, even if it was with Shannon, she was interacting with him. That leads me to believe if she's answering this question like this, she's also making it seem like she didn't know this baby was going to this man's shop. She didn't know that. She knew that this baby was close to her other grandbaby, Janiyah. But Shannon said that Janiyah and Neziah was going to his shop. So Shannon knew this, but the grandmother didn't. Why would Shannon know and the grandmother wouldn't? The grandmother is responsible for Neziah. She's responsible for knowing where this baby is. So if she came home and Neziah wasn't there, she didn't ask questions about where the baby was? And again, if she did know and she's lying, that would also mean she's lying when she says the baby didn't have interaction with him. Because the baby was at his shop. with your other granddaughter. You done got up on this stage and lied multiple times, lady. I would have hemmed her ass up. I'm telling you, I would have hemmed her ass up. She wouldn't have wanted me. I'm telling you.
And Mr. Riggins also asked you about the tablet that you bought for Nasiah. Do you
Yes.
remember those questions?
Yes.
And when, if you can remember, narrow that down, when did you buy that tablet for her?
I bought that tablet for her one Christmas. I think it was in 22 when I bought that tablet, at the end of 22 when I bought that tablet for her.
So December of 22.
Yeah, I think that when I bought that tablet.
So she would have had that tablet for roughly just over a year then, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
And did Nasiah also have access to a cell phone?
The only cell phone she had access to was one of the cell phones when my oldest daughter came to visit me. She gave to Nasiah, but she could only use it by Wi-Fi.
So she lied again. She lied again. Remember, the defense asked her what devices she would have had at her disposal in order to get on social media. This lady said she would have only had the tablet that she bought for her. Again, this is contradictory to what she said, because she's now saying that the baby had a device given to her by her biological mother and that she was able to get on it via Wi-Fi. Is that not 2 devices? Which technically it would have been 3 devices, because Shannon said Nasiah would use her phone. Y'all still don't believe that the grandmother got on the stage and lied? She's acting. She's lying. I'm telling you.
You said your oldest daughter, is that Nasiah's biological mother?
Yes.
Okay. And through, what's your oldest daughter's name?
Kenyatta Harris.
Through Kenyatta Harris, Nasiah got access to a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
I'm taking that as the mother, the biological mother, gave her daughter a means of talking to her, connecting with her, if she gave this baby that phone. That was something given to her by her mother. I want to know how much contact she was able to have with her mother. Remember, I told you the grandmother stated that her and her oldest daughter, which is Nasiah's mother, don't have a relationship. They're distant. Keep that in mind.
Mr. Riggins also asked you about Nasiah staying after school. You said that there was an after-school program she was involved in.
Yes.
On January 9th and in January of 24, was she still involved in that program?
No, I took her out of it because she was having problems with one of her schoolmates at that time. The same person that he asked me about before, that she didn't get along with.
The same person Mr. Riggins asked you.
Absolutely.
And so on the 9th, she was not supposed to stay after school.
No, she was supposed to come straight home.
So did she come? So my question is, because she gave the statement earlier that she was not at the house around the time that this baby would have been getting home. But she had to come back. When she said when she came back home, she saw that the baby wasn't there. Did she come back home before she went to go pick up the other kids from aftercare? She wasn't specific about that. Because if she came home before she went to pick the babies up from aftercare, why wasn't she getting on the phone with the school then? Why hadn't she start making phone calls then? I'm telling y'all, some unanswered questions here. This shit don't make sense.
And when she didn't come home, you said that you were driving around looking for her, correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what efforts you made on the night to locate her?
When I went to the school to go pick my son and daughter up because they were also in the after school program. Picked them up, went back to the house. I thought she was there, and when I got to the house, and
so she thought she was there, and she got back to the house. The baby still wasn't there. Now pay attention to what she does.
I found out that she wasn't there. I got back in the car, and I went back up to the school. And by that time, nobody was there. Nobody was at the school. So now,
Did y'all hear this before? Those of you who follow cases, does this not sound exactly like what Jen Soto told the police happened after she realized that the baby was not at the school and was not at her mother's job? Does this not sound like the same thing she said? It was way after school had been gotten out. It was like 4 something in the afternoon. She said she went back to the school, and by that time, everybody was gone. What? I'm telling you, oh my gosh. Oh.
I'm kind of like, I'm frustrated now. I'm going like, because whenever she wants to stay after school or do something, she would always call me. Well, hey, Nana, can I stay after school? Well, she would call one of her TTs. Hey, TT, can I stay after school? So that wasn't like her. So I'm really frustrated now. So now I go back to the house and I'm talking to my daughter, Shannon. And I'm like,
so why is her first reaction to the baby being missing frustration? Why is that your first reaction? Why is it frustration? Why is it not panic? It's frustration. I'm telling y'all, something is not right about this woman. And her and this baby did not have the type of relationship that she's presenting. Like this baby was secure with her and confided in her and was comfortable with her. And if she was like this with the baby, why is her first reaction frustration that the baby's missing? Hell no.
Stop you right there because I don't want to go into what anybody else said.
okay.
But you went back to the school. Nobody was at the school. You went back to the house. Nizai is still not there, correct?
Correct.
Did you go back out looking for her after that?
I did.
Where did you go with her?
I was driving around in the neighborhood, everywhere. I'm just looking, just like hoping I'll see her,
She was driving around in the neighborhood. She did not say that she went to this man's shop. She didn't even say she called this man or had Shannon call him. I'm trying to figure out if she's the foster mother of this baby and she's the one who's responsible for this baby. It's not Shannon, even though Shannon's her aunt. It's her who's responsible for this baby. It's her who's accountable for this baby. She should have been doing a lot more than Shannon. But Shannon should have been doing a lot more as well than what she did. Why did nobody go to this man's shop if they both knew that this baby would go to his shop and help him out? And just because he, if you ask me, he didn't give too much assistance with finding this baby. That didn't raise red flags for these people? Hey, y'all, I can't. Oh, I can't. Woo!
May I hold on, Judge? On the 9th, when you were looking for her, well, let me ask it this way. Did you notice I had to go to Mr. Butts' place of work to assist him with anything there?
Yes, there was a couple of times that, she went with his daughter and they went up there to go, clean up at his shop.
So she did know. She did know. She knew. She did know that this baby was going up to this man's shop. She did know. How in the hell could you tell these people in the courtroom that this baby had no interaction with this man? You told them that she didn't have any interaction with him. Then you admitted that the baby went out there with Shannon when he would come to the drive-thru and sit down with them. Now you admitted that you knew the baby was going to the shop with this man. You just told them that she had no interaction with him. The grandmother is a liar. And I'm telling you, she's doing it to protect an interest. And keep in mind, she's a foster parent. And she definitely need to get her shit taken away. And that's in my opinion. Because she got other kids at her disposal. And I will be questioning how many of those children is she giving her attention to the way she's supposed to. That's what I would be questioning. If I was a social worker, I wouldn't put no kids in her care. I would not. No.
And how would they get there? If you remember?
He would come and pick them up.
And was that in that white truck that you talked about?
Yes. Mhm.
Whew.
And did you yourself know where Mr. Butts worked at?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, do you know, where is that?
It was Frank's shop located on East Warren.
And is that the last place that you knew him to work? Or did you know him to work somewhere else?
I knew him to work there, and then the shop moved to a different location.
Did you know where that new location was?
Personally, no.
Okay. And did you ever, on the 9th, did you ever try and go to Mr.
So she just admitted that she knew this baby was going to this man's shop. She said she knew the man was working at the first place he was at. But she said she didn't personally know where the new shop was. But you was allowing the baby to go there? You allowed the baby to go there, but you didn't personally know where the new shop was. Is this supposed to be a plausible reason for why you didn't go to the shop and look for this baby? Because I say, hell, the fuck no. Excuse my language, because this shit gets me mad. That's not a reason. She may think it's a plausible reason. That's why she's giving it. This is not a reason. Not if your daughter knew. It's not a reason. If you really was hell bent on finding this baby, you would have searched everywhere.
Butts' his place of work to look for Nasiah?
On the 9th, no.
She said she did not go to his place of work on the 9th, which was the day that the baby went missing. She did not go to his shop. And my question is why? Why didn't you go? Why didn't Shannon suggest it to you, even if you wasn't thinking about it? Because like I said, ultimately, this was her responsibility to keep up with this baby and know her whereabouts. If I was CPS, I would be questioning this lady and whether or not she should still be a foster parent. And I lie not to you. Nope.
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Harris, we're done testifying. Watch your step. Please exit the box.
Okay, fine.
I mean, how y'all feel about this? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was not ignoring. I wasn't trying to ignore y'all. I just got so into it. I'm so sorry. I got to catch up on the comments. Oh, thank you, Denise. Thank you for subscribing. No, they still don't have her whereabouts. To my knowledge, they still do not have her whereabouts. And of course, Butts is not saying nothing. He's not saying anything. He's not giving any inclination towards anything. I don't know how much is out there about his phone calls from jail, but let me tell you something. Butts is strategic. He's a strategic thinker. These people try to think ahead. They try to think about every possible scenario that can happen and try to cover their tracks. That's what I know about him. They don't want to look incompetent, Denise, but they damn sure do. At least to me. They ain't got no common sense at all. Not me. They're too busy trying to present a certain way. And you coming off as a fake and a fraud to me. Oh, I can't wait to this interview. Thank you, Nora. I can't wait for this interview because I'm definitely going to watch it. Yes, Chrissy, I agree with you. I was just talking about how these women be seeming like they so darn desperate to keep a man. Why? Why? In 2025, you still acting like you desperate to keep a man? But like I said, if you look at these women, they all look like they can be manipulated. A couple of them look like they're desperate. And this is in my opinion. Because there's no way you can say this type of stuff to me. And I'm not looking at these women sideways. Because Shannon gave a known convicted offender a second chance. Had 5 kids with this man. I can't. Oh no, we're not gonna forget about this. We're not gonna forget about this. This baby had nobody protecting her, in my opinion. Nobody. And she was with family members. And in my opinion, she was with the wrong ones. And maybe it was that the ones that were trying to adopt her and get her were being fought against for some interest that we don't know about. Those were the ones that they probably should have had her if they were fighting for her like that. And how come they got so much information that the Harrises made seem like they couldn't get for weeks? How much follow-up were you really doing? How attentive were you that she was missing? Did you really care? Because it's not coming off that way, not to me. I don't give a damn what you trying to present. You seem like a fake. They all, and I agree with you, Denise, they all failed her. They all failed her. Every last one of them failed her. Now, the only one I will give some kind of grace to is the co-worker, okay? The co-worker, he said he didn't know the Naziah. The reason why, y'all keep saying that's my daughter's name, okay? The reason why he didn't know Naziah when Mr. Butts pointed her out. Because he said Mr. Butts pointed her out when they were driving. He said they were getting ready to go to some auto parts store because they forgot something. Okay? And on the way, he saw the baby walking. I think this was strategic because remember, there were messages passed between her and him where there was some kind of meeting up that was supposed to happen. So he just so happened to be passing by and see her walking when he got the coworker. I'm trying to tell you. He just so happened to see her walking while he was with the coworker. And he pointed out that the coworker, that she was walking and crossing the street. And he pointed out to the coworker, there go my niece. And the coworker looked up, and that's when he saw Naziah. And he picked her up. Why did he pick her up? Instead of asking her where she was going, if she needed a ride somewhere, what made him keep her and take her to the shop alone this time? And she went. The coworker didn't think anything of it because he said this was my niece. And the coworker was like, okay. He said, Naziah got in the car and she spoke to them. Said, hey. And that was it. When they got to the shop, the baby was in there cleaning up and doing whatever while they were working on the car. The co-worker said they had to stop because Mr. Butt said he had to go put gas in his car because the baby got out of the car they were in and went into his Escalade, I believe. The Cadillac Escalade. She got into that truck. But I think she was trying to keep warm, so the car was on. And then he had to stop working and go put gas in the car. The co-worker said they had to push the car over so that they can get gas. But the co-worker said he didn't stay to see what happened with, he couldn't attest to anything after he had to leave. Because remember, he was on tether. I think he said he left the shop around 6:30. So if that's the case, look at how much time went by that this man and this baby were alone at his shop. Where was the grandmother? Why didn't the grandmother call? She knew by this time the baby was missing. At 6:30 at night, she knew. She knew at this time the baby was missing. She knew that sometimes the baby would go to this man's shop. She didn't call him. She didn't go by his shop. What the hell is wrong with this picture? Hell no. No, I'm sorry. No. I still got questions for this grandmother and the aunt. I still got questions. The grandmother admitted that she did not go to his shop on the 9th. She did not. But the co-worker could attest that the baby was there. Not only the co-worker, but Butt's sister, Mr. Butt's sister, could attest to the baby being there. She saw the baby there and wanted to know why that baby was there. I would have wanted to know too. This grandmother was negligent. And that's what I'm telling you. She was negligent. I don't give a damn what she said. She was negligent. And she didn't do everything she should have done and could have done the day this baby went missing. Not if she knew this baby could possibly be at this man's shop. Not if she knew this baby was a sex offender. And she thought nothing of this baby possibly being with this man. No, absolutely not. I don't care. No. Woo! I agree with you, Denise. It absolutely happens. It absolutely happens. I was a foster child and can attest to that. It absolutely happens. And a lot of us end up being hypersexuals. Not because we know that that's what's happening. But over the course of time, we adjust and adapt to what is happening to us. And then we don't even know that what's happening to us is wrong. It's abuse. We're abusing ourselves as hypersexuals. We can. And this is what can happen when you're groomed. When you've been subject to abuse for a long time. Girl, Miss Denise, I would not be surprised if she is. Because I still got questions for this grandmother. I still got questions for Miss Shannon. Because there's some missing pieces to the puzzle. Because I'm not trying to understand why the course of events took place the way they did. And why there are gaps and certain things that she did not do. That if it was me and my baby, ain't no damn way. Ain't no damn way. Woo! Oh yeah, she was like, I don't see him. My daughter got my glasses. Why the hell you come in the courtroom without your glasses? You trying to look? Ooh, I can't. Almost like she didn't want to identify him. What? I can see what I think. I understand why the co-worker might have done this, because the co-worker wasn't even trying to see him. Was making sure that he understood we ain't cool. You ain't nobody to me. The way he said it, y'all listen to the way he said it. He identified him by the photo. They presented him with the photo, and he was like, that's Jarvis Butt. But he didn't identify him in the courtroom. I think he was sending a message with that. That's what I believe. To Mr. Butts. Yes, Miss Denise, she was turning a blind eye. And it's too many of them out there that do that. When I said that one of the women that my mother would leave me with walked in on her pedophile ass boyfriend on me. This man was kissing me and holding me down and shit. I'm a child. I was around 9, maybe, when this happened. She walked in on us. She walked in on us. There's no denying what she saw. And I still sat down and told her everything. And she told me, you don't have to worry about that again. Everything gonna be all right. He not gonna mess with you no more. And that was her way of keeping me silent. Of gaining my trust and making me feel like she got me. And you know who was back the same night? And this happened to me. We're talking about the 80s and 90s here. This happened to me. So it's absolutely still happening. Yes, Miss Cookie, I was a foster child. Oh, yes, they completely avoided him. And I'm trying to figure out why. The grandmother has an interest. You better understand me. There's an interest she's protecting. So that's the reason why she's distancing herself from this man. She's trying to make every effort to distance herself from this man. Trust me. Yeah, I remember that, Nora, that Shannon asked her mother, you mean to tell me you got to get your mother's permission? Why are you doing that? You got to get your mother's permission to call the police. Y'all don't think something weird about this? No. Y'all, no. Woo! Is that true, Miss Nora? His 4-year-old daughter. Remember, I asked that question, or I made that suggestion that it's possible that he could have been doing this to his daughter. Because pedophiles do. They have an attraction to kids. Some of them prefer to deal with their children. Oh, goodness. Hey, boo. Hey, Candy, I'm so sorry. I just now seeing you. I hope you still here. I'm so sorry because I was not checking my comments. Oh, so you were saying, because I asked that question about all these kids, you said the kids are foster, allegedly the rest was Shannon and Naziah. Okay, so the kids, she's saying, the grandmother, when she says, I have 2 other children, I think 2 or 3 other children, so she's talking about her foster kids. Even more of a reason for CPS to be questioning whether or not this grandmother was neglectful. Because she got other kids in her care. Remember, keep in mind, this is the interest that the grandmother has, that she's trying to protect. I'm trying to tell you. Lord, please don't tell me she running no damn daycare. Oh my gosh. All the parents, if you have your child at this person's daycare, I will be questioning whether or not your kids are safe. If you don't have questions, alarms not raised, I'm telling you, something's wrong. Whew. I can't, y'all. I can't. You can be close with your children, but they're not going to tell you everything. So being close is not the case. No, I didn't just say being close is not the case. First of all, I'm not sure if that's what I said, but if I did say that, no, it's not just about being close with your kids. Even if there's distance, or even if the child is being rebellious against you, yes, you still supposed to be in their business. You're still supposed to be in their business because you're the adult in the situation. You're responsible for them. I don't care what you say. You're responsible for them. You're obligated to them. You think for them when they can't think for themselves. Children are not as wise as the adults. Hold on. Let me say this a different way. Generally speaking, the adult is supposed to be the wise one in the situation. The one with maturation going on. That's what I mean. They're supposed to be able to make the decisions and the choices for the child when appropriate. I agree. The parents are not parenting, and I'm trying to understand why. Why is that? The children are not supposed to have all this independence and freedom and all this to do whatever they want to do when they're under your obligation and care, under your responsibility. Hell no. You know how much stuff you can get in trouble for as a parent? Because of your child. Let's not forget. Now, parents are going to jail behind their kids. Are we forgetting about the school shootings? And the fact that parents are getting locked up behind not parenting. Come on now. Close or not. Pay attention to your kids. Know what they're doing. Privacy. What damn privacy? You can have privacy, but it's limited. And don't think I ain't going through my messages. My child, my children, don't think I ain't going through their messages. You wouldn't believe the type of stuff I done found on my baby's phone, on my baby's tablet. This includes the gaming systems, because they can message on there too. Things like Discord, the Roblox stuff. Absolutely. And you'll be surprised at the shit I found. But I don't approach the situation in frustration. I approach the situation the way I need to. Because if you go to them with anger, they're less likely to respond to you. They're less likely to tell you the truth. They're less likely to open up. That's what I learned. There's a way to help them to understand that what they're doing is not okay without first getting frustrated and throwing anger out there. A lot of children don't respond to that. And all you cause them to do is shut down more. Where they tell you nothing. Man, what? Woo! Thanks, Queen, for hitting the like button. Yeah, Miss Nora. Yes. The truth always comes to the light. It always comes to the light. It is just so sad that they still haven't found this baby. Well, I know she lying, Miss Cookie. I know she lying. Okay, I know she lying. You understand what I'm saying? Woo. Yo, I'm telling you, if they knew, and I absolutely believe they know a whole lot more than what they're saying. Shannon and that grandmother especially know more than what they're saying. And she made sure that she tried to distance herself as much as possible from this man. And I'm trying to figure out what oh gosh. I hope they do, Miss Cookie. Yes, they do. Adults have to ask the right questions. They got to know the right questions to ask. But sometimes when you're not connected to the situation, you're not relating to a situation. And this includes with kids. Because not every adult can relate with a child. You got some people who relate more to animals than they do children. They'll do more for their animals than they would a child. But animals are like children. I can immediately tell when an adult is disconnected from a child or their own child. I can tell when they're disconnected. It's their speech. It's their body language. It's whether or not they're relating to the situation appropriately. I'm telling you. Because I can tell all of that with Jen Soto. I'm trying to tell you. She was disconnected from that baby. Emotionally, especially. Only thing I caught on to was the jealousy. She had jealousy for her baby. I'm trying to tell you, if the grandmother does have trauma and she really needs therapy, she need to go through this, because this right here should be eye-opening. This should put her in a situation where she understands there is something that she missed. Something that she may not have inside that she absolutely needs when it comes to the care of children. And this is why everybody shouldn't be a foster parent. Look at the case of the kids that were used just to work for the foster parents. Barely getting fed, treated just disgusting. How are they vetting these people? Maybe these people need psychological evaluations before they get these children. I'm trying to tell y'all, okay? You know, Mr. Denise, I didn't even see all Nazia's videos and pictures. But if they're out there, I'm going to find them. She might have been crying out for help. Because if you know the signs and you really paying attention to kids, something would have spoken out to you. This don't seem right. And these are exactly the type of people who need to be working for CPS. The ones that can relate to these types of situations where they are attentive enough, they recognize the signs, especially if they have children. Most of the time, when things are happening to a child, they're being molested, abused, and stuff like that, guess what? It's from somebody close to them. It's not a stranger. It's from somebody close to them, somebody they know. Most of the time. Someone who would have had access to them. You need to check them first. Everybody who would have had access to her. Starting with the family. Because something would have stuck out. I guarantee you. There's no way. And Shannon knew that this man was a liar. She knew. He cheated on her multiple times with other women, even though the babies kept coming. I cannot. Woo. That's what I said, Miss Chrissy. No emotion at all. I can absolutely tell. No emotion at all. I can tell you so much about my child. That's how connected I am to both of them. Nobody can tell me anything about my kids that I don't already know. And that's how it should be with any parent. You're supposed to know your kid better than anybody. So if somebody's lying on your baby, you're going to automatically know. Because you know their behavior. You know how they are. And you got to pay attention to them around different people. I don't understand how you were traumatized and abused. If you were traumatized and abused in this way, you didn't recognize certain signs. I'm so paranoid, y'all. Okay, I'm paying attention to everything. These eyes scan for everything. These ears scan for everything. Because I done been there. Guilty as heck. That's right, Miss Sharon. I hope I'm saying that right. I agree. One thing that African American people can do Or let me say it like this, Miss Cookie, because I differentiate African American from Black American. With the Black Americans, I absolutely know that sometimes when they say things, it comes out the wrong way. That's not how they mean it. It comes out the wrong way. In times like that, you need to make sure that you're being clear and you're taking in input from the baby as well. So if you present something to them, you follow up with, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm trying to get to? Just to make sure that they understand. Because sometimes you have to word things differently. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from the situation, especially if you're an emotionally responsive person. You got to remove yourself from the situation and then come back to it. That's no different than if you're in a relationship with a person. Sometimes you got to remove yourself from the situation and come back to it. Trust me, a child will understand. They probably would rather you do that than to blow up at them, because they will shut down from you. And then it might be harder later to get them to come forward. Woo, I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, she didn't go to the shop, Miss Cookie, and it's bothering me. Like, why the hell wouldn't you? Why? Why wouldn't you go? She made sure to specify that she didn't go on the 9th. Does that mean you went the next day? Where the hell did you go? Did you go? Did you ask questions? Where the hell did you? Besides driving around the neighborhood and look everywhere, that ain't telling me shit. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, Mr. Niche, you caught on to that too, that deep breathing. Yes, Jarvis' sister saw the baby at the shop, as well as the co-worker King. They both knew the baby was there. And remember, it was late. Because they worked on Jarvis' sister's car. So it was late. The baby was still there. In my opinion, it was getting late. And you mean to tell me the person responsible for this baby didn't call at all and ask nobody no question? But she was concerned. No, like she said, she was frustrated. Where is the mother? Exactly, Ms. Denise. Where the hell is the mother? I want to know where the biological mother is. Did she speak up yet? Has anybody heard from her? I would really like to ask her questions, because this will give a lot of background into her and the mother's relationship. Because like I said, sometimes the tension between the mother and the grandmother can trickle on down to the baby. This does happen. I agree, Miss Lola. There's a lot of dark energy, because I don't understand Shannon at all. Like, it's desperation written all over this woman. I don't care what she say, because that's hell no. A known sex offender around my children. I'm gonna have multiple kids with this man, and then allow my niece to be around him. Allow my niece and my child to be around him alone. Why he didn't take the boy? He was a mechanic, right? This was an auto body shop. Why he didn't take the baby, the boys? He took the girls? Ain't nobody asking these questions. Yeah, like what? You didn't see the baby. You straight up lied to the mother, and it's not like he hadn't already been doing that. At this point, Shannon was used to this man lying to her. Did that stop her from messing with him? And this was even after he tried to lie about the text messages. He said the text messages, the inappropriate text messages that was sent, was his kids? Like somebody else using his phone. It wasn't him. Huh? I'm confused. Don't forget he lied to the detectives when they were reading him the text messages from some app called Text Now. If y'all know about that app, I don't know about that app, but apparently you can text on Text Now, and it must be one of them Wi-Fi apps that as long as you have Wi-Fi, you can text on it. Mind you, this Text Now app was on Shannon's phone. And he said, remember I told you he has a strategic mind. He told the detectives he was talking to Shannon when he wrote them nasty ass messages. Yet Shannon was giving her phone to this baby to use. And I guess apparently she didn't know she was texting. She did know. She knew. She knew. You know, Miss Denise, I really wish that was the possibility that this baby was with her mother. I really wish that was the situation, but unfortunately, I do not believe that that's the situation, that she's with the mother. Because, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I didn't hear anything about Jarvis Butts being in communication with Naziah's mother. I never heard any communication about this from anybody. I'm not sure if she knew. I'm not sure if Naziah's mother knew about Jarvis, and if she did, I really don't believe they had any communication. So, and the reason why I'm saying that is the last time the baby was seen was at the auto shop. Okay, by the co-worker, Jarvis's sister, and Jarvis. The co-worker left, Jarvis's sister left, the baby and Jarvis was still at the shop. So the only person who could attest to the baby's whereabouts or what she was doing or anything like that from the time of 6:30 onward, 6:30 p.m. onward, is Jarvis. And he's not talking. So if Jarvis and the baby's mother never had any communication, he wouldn't have reached out to her. I really wish that was the situation. Whew. Why not go to the police station? Exactly. A crisis going on with the foster homes. Y'all, I believe it. I believe it. And you know what's crazy is the situation where you have foster parents now who are trying to give their kids back to CPS. There's a situation like that going on in Virginia right now, where it's so many foster parents trying to give their kids back to CPS. Because a lot of these parents who are trying to do this, their kids are teenagers now. What happens when a child becomes a teenager? Okay, they're way more advanced. They're probing more. They have way more questions. They want to know what the hell is going on with their background. Why am I adopted? How did I end up with you? Who's my biological parents? And a lot of these foster people don't want to go. They don't. Maybe it's a possibility that a lot of the adopted kids want to be with their biological family. This is not in the best interest of the foster home or the foster parents, is it? I'm trying to tell y'all. Ooh. But remember, y'all, yes, I just read what you wrote, Miss Denise, about the orphan child. Remember, y'all, it's a situation out here that's going on with CPS where they have found out that CPS has been giving foster parents to illegal immigrants. Okay? Traffickers. And not all traffickers are illegal immigrants. Just so you know. It's harder to track illegal immigrants. I saw something where, and I'm not sure if this was a whistleblower who was talking, because y'all know whistleblowers have been to Congress speaking about this, okay? One of the videos, it's on my video, it's on my playlist, okay? That the whistleblowers has been talking about CPS and DHS, and the shit has been going on for decades. Where CPS is directly involved with the trafficking of foster kids. They said if you leave foster children in a home for too long, that presents a problem. So they keep moving the children. But like I said, it's harder to track illegals. In a situation where you have traffickers paying foster parents to not report the child is missing. Think about that. This is absolutely going on. They're paying the foster parents not to report the baby is missing. So nobody looks into the matter. Think about what's happening to this child. It's really traumatizing to children not to have a stable foundation. And that is what I'm telling you. They don't know what it's like. You're speaking to a foster child. And it has been a struggle for me to find stability because I cannot stay at one place for too long. I have not been able to. I'm so used to being gone. So I'm not more at a place more than 3 years. I'm gone. I'm telling you. And this is what the effects this shit can happen to a foster child. I can't wait to the trial, Miss Denise. And I'm glad everything's on record. Because this grandmother definitely lied. And I believe Shannon did too. I think so, Miss Cookie. Come on. How can you say she wouldn't have been found? She absolutely would have been found. The baby was still at the shop when the grandmother supposedly, at this point, the grandmother knew. Around 6:30, the grandmother knew. Remember, she said she went back to the school. This is after picking up her other kids from after school. So the grandmother knew. She did not go to the shop. Woo! I'm having a hard time with this grandmother. I'm having a hard time, dog. Yes. A lot of missing pieces. She thought they were running away together. Man. That does not absolve you from your obligation and responsibility to this baby. Whether you thought she was running away with anybody or not. You're accountable to her. Period. Just like you are to these other foster parents. And I am telling you, if CPS don't get on this woman's ass, there should be hell to pay. Because I absolutely believe she was neglectful. Oh my gosh. Remember, Courtney, that if that's the case that he gave her the STD, the grandmother said that she was attending to the baby's health. Her medical care like she was supposed to. So questions didn't arise because at this point you knew the baby was having sex. This would have been even more of a reason to keep your eye on this baby. To know where she was. To know where she was around. Because you knew at this point she was having sex. The question is, how did she get the STD and who did she get it from? Did you ask these questions? Did anybody ask these questions? Ooh. And if so, Miss Courtney, that's the best thing that they could have done. Remove the kids. Yes, ma'am. Grooming. You got to be kidding me. Did this really happen to Miss Makita's daughter? She saw the baby having sex with him? Oh my gosh. What in the world is going on? Yes, ma'am, Miss Denise. The mind does split. Okay. I am proof of that. The mind does split. The trauma and abuse will always be there. It will always be there. It is a part of our history. Okay. It leads us to be, it can lead us to be antisocial. It can lead us to be very paranoid. It can lead to other disorders where it's hard for us to adapt and trust other people. I mean, it can lead to so much. Yeah, Miss Nora, the kids are out. A lot of kids are outside from day to night and they don't have any supervision. How is it that you don't know where your kids are? When I was coming up, we had to be home before what? Because I know you know. But even then, our asses was out there playing. Hide and go get it and shit. I want all these kids to speak up. These kids should not feel like they are hindered from speaking their truth. We were taught that, a lot of us were taught that coming up. We were taught to fear the truth, and I'm not going to quit saying that. We were taught to fear the truth. If we open our mouths, we got in trouble. Some of us got worse consequences than what, or worse results than what was already done to us for opening our mouths. And it seems like that shit's still going on today. And we in 2025. It's still happening in households where children are made to feel like they cannot speak their truth. They fear their truth. So they become quiet. They don't speak. They become removed from being around other people. They can't be social with other people. They can't. It brings up anxiety. They get anxiety around telling their truth. This is a problem. These are signs of trauma. And this happens a lot. This has happened a lot. At least I know for sure in Black households. I agree, Ms. Cookie. There is no written book. It is trial and error for all parents because every situation does not fit every household and every situation, every child, every adult. Okay, that's the truth. There is no book. And it's absolutely okay for you to grow in areas as you're parenting. But it's important that you mature. It's important that you actually educate yourself. It's important to ask questions. Because there's somebody who can answer this question for you even if you can't. There's somebody who done been through this situation. It is trial and error. You got to be willing to put in the work. It's a lot of parents who ain't willing to do that. It's a lot of parents who like to shut their kids up. You know how? Give them what they want. Put them on a tablet. Let them go where they want. Yeah, Miss Denise. Oh, you don't have to be sorry. I'm telling you, it's something that, like I said, will always be a part of my history. It's not something that I could ever forget, and the trauma does not go away. And I absolutely have conditions behind this. And it can make it hard for you as an adult as you're coming up because you're making mistakes that you don't realize are mistakes until afterwards. Where you're allowing people to get close to you simply because you're trying to attach. You're trying to become stable. And you think that the decisions you're making are going to lead to that. But a lot of times they backfire because the people who you are attracting, they sense something in you. They see something in you. They are attracted to that. Vulnerability. Somebody that easily manipulated. Naive. Gullible. Believe people at their word. Ask me how I know. I'm trying to tell you. Well, Miss Denise, if Jarvis does know something about Miss Annette, that could be a reason why she's attempting to disconnect or, not affiliate herself with him so much. I absolutely believe that Miss Annette knew about Jarvis. Because Shannon absolutely knew. I absolutely think that she knew. That's why she kept telling them that when Jarvis came over, he was most of the time sitting in the driveway, not in her house. There's a reason she's saying that. Oh, definitely, Miss Denise. I can't, look, I don't want to tell you my age, but that's definitely true. 40 years or more, okay? 40 years or more. One thing about me, if you didn't know, me and my mother were in foster care together. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. Miss Cookie, if they feel like they haven't done anything wrong, these people are in trouble. Spiritually, especially, these people are in trouble if they don't realize what they've done wrong. Because you're right. I believe that in these people's mind, speaking on people, I'm talking about Shannon and her mother, if they believe they did nothing wrong and everybody else is seeing something wrong with what they did, they should take time to reevaluate themselves, do some introspection. And like you said, they may need therapy. They may be traumatized themselves and don't understand it as that. But if that's the case, they shouldn't have these children, especially this grandmother. She should not be a foster parent. And if CPS is not pointing this out, then I'm wondering who the hell is working for CPS. I'm questioning their discernment. Just like this grandmother and Shannon. The discernment is the problem. Wow, Miss Cookie, if Shannon's children has been removed, I believe that that's appropriate. But I also believe that it's appropriate for Annette's children to be removed as well. She would not be suitable. She would never get vetted by me to be a foster parent if I work for CPS. Absolutely not. Especially not after this happened, where she was neglectful in following up appropriately after her child went missing. Absolutely neglectful. And I don't believe she did as much as she said she did. Miss Nora, there's a video with Naziah and the grandmother's brother grabbing her while she was dancing close to him with a beer in his hand. So why is that appropriate? This baby was around another adult, and not just another adult, but a male, and he got a beer in his hand. And that's appropriate. And he's grabbing her, and you not saying nothing as a grandmother. You saw nothing wrong with this. I am telling you, that could absolutely be the result of trauma, where she could have went through the abuse herself. And you have people who disassociate with what happened to them. Where they believe that if it happened to them and then it happens to you, it shouldn't be a big deal because they dealt with it. No, the hell, you didn't deal with it. Not if you think that there's nothing wrong with that. A grown man dancing with a baby all up on him and he got a beer in his hand. I'm sorry, Nora. Also, is your name Eric? I think that's what you're saying. Is Nora actually Eric? Is Eric Nora? That's what I'm asking. Yes, Miss Sandra, it's always the people you trust. It's always people you trust. And even if you don't trust somebody, and this could be a family member, you definitely need to check them too. Always check the people around you first. This is no different than a situation where a wife or a husband calls the police and reports that their spouse is unalived in their home or in their vicinity around them. They found their wife or they found their husband. No different. The first person they look at is who? The spouse. Immediate family members. People who have access to the victim. There should have been absolutely the same situation here with this baby. Absolutely. And I am talking about with the grandmother and Shannon. But like you said, if they did something wrong, woo. Remember this. Hurt people hurt people. If I'm not mistaken, Miss Cookie, Shannon said she found out that he was cheating on him. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to Shannon. But I thought she said that she found out that he was cheating on her, or he was messing with another woman. And I consider that cheating, especially if he's making it seem like he's with her. I understand the on again, off again relationship, and maybe during this time they were doing their own thing. But if you with me and you saying, because we don't know what he was saying, we know he was a liar. But if you with me and you saying you with me and you dealing with me, and I find out you cheating with another, you messing with another lady while you messing with me, that is cheating. I'm just saying, because having sex is okay. It's okay, but stop. Don't make it seem like, y'all get together and all this other stuff. Because if she's talking about him being with another woman, there's an emotional connection here. There's a more intimate connection here with this man besides sex. If she cares that he's messing with another woman, that's my opinion. Because if it's me and I'm just messing with a man, get my rocks off when I want them, I don't give a damn what you're doing. I'm protecting myself with you though, definitely. I'm not messing with you without protection. And it's okay for two grown people to want to do this and not have a relationship. That's okay. That's not a problem. It's when somebody's being led to believe that a situation is more than what it is, and that other person finds out. That's the problem. I'm trying to tell you. That's true, Miss Cookie, that we think we know our children, but sometimes we don't. You can never put anything past anybody. That's true. But like I said, I'm a hands-on mother. There's nothing I don't know about my kid. Because I go, even if there's something that I don't know about my kid, I probe and I ask questions and I read my child and I pay attention and I can relate. I can connect to many things. Some of us just have a motherly instinct, and that motherly instinct don't let nothing pass. We don't let nothing pass when we don't understand some shit. Some shit ain't adding up. There's no reason why a parent shouldn't be in their child's life, and I mean in it, in my opinion. That's me. Interesting, Miss Cookie. You said she went looking in places where they couldn't follow up and see if she actually went there. I mean, did she even tell us the places she went? Because all I heard her say was she looked everywhere. Where's everywhere? Everywhere could be 4 blocks from the house. You didn't look everywhere because you didn't check the shop. No. The grandmother lies. She's a liar. Okay, Miss Chrissy, you said the mother spoke. she has a substance abuse issue. Okay, I'm gonna try to find something on the mother. I'm gonna try to find a video with the mother. If you have one, if you know of a video, you can link it in the comments, please. I'd appreciate it. And I will look. Well, Ms. Nora, if Nazia's mother is on drugs, I can see why it's possible that Annette would not want to have an association with her. Because remember, I told you she has an interest she has to protect. But not only that, but there was some tension there between her and her daughter, where she says that they didn't have a relationship, or they had a distant relationship. Like she don't deal with her. I really do feel sorry for the mother if she's on drugs, because if she couldn't kick her habit, or she hasn't kicked her habit, then I think it was beneficial for Nazia to at least be in the care of family members. But I'm not going to say that being in the care of Annette and Shannon was the best situation for her. And then on top of that, why did CPS make it hard for the other family members who was trying to get custody of her? Because y'all just saw the video, was trying to get custody of her, and they make it hard. They didn't let her. They didn't allow them. Their family members too. Why? Especially if the children were reporting abuse. I'm telling you, Let's think about Miss Denise. If whether or not that situation, that her mother was also abused by Annette, let's think about that situation in terms of what I said earlier, how Nazia could have inherited that attention or that lack of emotional connection between her mother and her grandmother. She could have inherited it, where the grandmother treated her the way she treated the mother, where there was definitely a disconnect. That absolutely could have happened. Because I don't know what happened with the mother, where she became distant from her mother, and they don't have a relationship. What happened there? Something happened. How did the mother end up on drugs? Why did she feel she needed to turn to that? That wasn't for no reason. Woo! Children, I'm telling you, if the brother feels that way, Miss Denise, he's within his right. And who knows if he wasn't abused? Because like I said, hurt people hurt people. And if Annette was traumatized or abused herself and she felt like she dealt with it, she could absolutely believe these children can deal with it. If that's how she learned, why wouldn't she think that it's okay to teach them the same way? Especially if she believed that it's nothing wrong with it, or she did nothing wrong. She's not recognizing what she did wrong or inappropriately, how she handled the situation. But on the other hand, there's something called plausible deniability. Giving a plausible reason for something. Feigning ignorance about something. ignorance lead someone to say something like, to the best of my knowledge, from what I understand, at least that's what I know, that it can lead people to answer questions this way, where they're creating this plausible deniability. Okay? Oh, Miss Nora, I got a whole playlist on Ali Carter, okay? I'm absolutely with her, and I absolutely believe her, and she's not lying about a lot of stuff she's saying. I'm telling you, I was a foster child, and I started getting abused in the foster care system. So I absolutely believe her. And I absolutely got moved from house to house. Foster parent. It has created a situation where I've been unable to be stable and steady in one place for too long. That's the situation. This is the outcome. This is the result of what can happen. I absolutely believe Ali. Of course, Miss Cookie. They absolutely lie. The whistleblowers have proven that to Congress already. The whistleblowers work for these organizations. One of the women got fired because she was calling out the truth of the matter, or what was happening to these kids and how people have been negligent on their duties. She got fired. And this is what happened to truth tellers. Y'all have to understand. Truth tellers consistently have people trying to shut them up, suppress them, keep them from talking, because they're shining a light on a situation that could cause problems, could cost money. Absolutely. I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen all of the interviews. So I'm going to have to go and make sure I watch all the interviews. But I'm just going off the ones I've seen so far. And I definitely have problems with this grandmother and Shannon. I'm telling you. Thank you, Obsidian. You know. Okay? You know. That is exactly how they got us to be quiet. And what they were doing was making us fear the truth. That's what they were doing to us. And that should have never happened. Because the stuff that really needed to be told so that they can end some shit before it gets worse, like in this situation, it never comes out. Because everybody's silencing the child. Because children tell the truth. Especially when they're comfortable. Look at what this baby did. If she was really comfortable with her friends, those would have been the people that she confided in and told things to. Because otherwise, how do you explain the grandmother not knowing about the pregnancy if the baby was comfortable with telling her things and would come and talk to her? You know, her open door policy? That's crap. Eric Gamble is a level 3 predator. My goodness. Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss Nora, for clearing that up. That was the uncle's name, the uncle that Naziah was dancing with. Ugh. Oh gosh, my stomach hurts. Okay. You know, as a child who was absolutely abused, okay, because the abuse didn't stop after foster care with me either. The abuse continued, and the abuse continued with family members. Okay. I was, you know, abused by my cousins. And you have to understand, at this point, I had them been abused and neglected after telling someone and that person walking in on me and seeing the shit and did nothing. Like I said in one of my videos, that was the day that I lost all trust, complete trust with adults. And it's like something in me shut down. I guess you could say this is when I begin to disassociate. Like it's going to happen to me anyway. So everywhere I go is one. And one thing about me and my mom, we went through the same shit. So my mom couldn't teach me what she didn't know. She knew what she knew. And there's a lot of people who came up during that time where the parents seemed aloof, like they wasn't really listening to the children and was putting them off and allowing them to be around all these adults. I don't know about y'all, but when I was younger, my mom would always be at somebody's house. We were always around different adults, and it's like every weekend, because she liked to gamble, we would be over at somebody's house around a whole bunch of adults. And meanwhile, the pedophiles are lurking. And it's one of the children, if not multiple children, that are being affected by it. This shit happened to us. And apparently it's still happening. But people think this is okay. I agree, Ms. Denise. We really do need to normalize speaking up. But it's so many of us who've been silenced for so long and suppressed from telling the truth, and it gets hard and hard because it's like nobody wants to listen. Everybody's questioning us. You know, I hate when I hear somebody say, produce receipts. What the hell? You want me, somebody who grew up in the 80s, 90s time, to produce evidence of me being abused? What? You want these babies to produce evidence that they're being abused? So it's like, if they tell the truth, they're damned. If they don't tell the truth, they're damned. And that's how it was. That's how it was for a lot of us. I'm telling y'all, a change absolutely needs to happen. I'm trying to tell y'all. But I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be going on a rant because this type of stuff really gets to me. And if y'all know my channel, I'm absolutely a child advocate, okay? I've been a victim of abuse. There's nothing you can tell me about an abused child that I don't know, okay? I was spot on with Maddie, Jen Soto's daughter. I hit on a lot of points, okay? Because the shit that Jen was doing, it's like, what? It's a reason why the family members didn't like him, Stephen. But notice how Jen, I'm trying to tell y'all, please take care of y'all babies. Please pay attention to your babies. Ask questions. Probe your children. They will talk to you. But you cannot confront them as an angry parent, frustrated over certain things that you may find out. A lot of them will shut down from you. These are babies. They're still growing. Okay? You have to find a way to relate to your child. And if you can't do it, find somebody who you trust that can. And if you need therapy, absolutely get it. Even if you don't want to go to an actual therapist, there are a lot of us out here you can talk to that can relate to you, that will help you. This is what I'm telling you. Please don't let a situation like this that happened to Naziah, because she is an example. You understand what I'm saying? She's an example. And it's unfortunate that she had to be. But this is what happened. When nothing's ever done, and children are silenced, and they're afraid to speak their truth. Nowadays, we getting on the parents. We need to get on the parents and find out what they're doing. Okay? But y'all, this is my message. I'm sorry it's been so long. It took a long time. I did not expect this to be 3 hours. But I did tell y'all that I was going to be talking about Naziah. And I may not be done. Because the trial is coming up. And who knows what information is going to come out. So I'm going to continue to dig and continue to finish watching these interviews, because I know it's some people I haven't heard. And I definitely want to, listen to Naziah's mom, because it'll give me some background or some insight about what could possibly have been going wrong between her and her mother. All right, y'all. And let me get up on here. Thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all who liked the video. I thank y'all who, if I gain some new subscribers, because I can't see it. The numbers keep fluctuating, so I don't really know what's going on. But I appreciate it. Let me get up off of here. You guys have a good night, because I am hungry and I need to eat. But thank you, y'all. I'm going to be back. I'll be back. All right. Woo!